Hey guys, and welcome back to another Dragon Ball Super card game video. My name is D-Free, and on this channel, we upload a lot of content. Not yet, but we are going to be uploading a lot of content on Dragon Ball Super card game, specifically Fusion World, and more importantly, most likely, primarily going to be the digital version, and we do have news about that. So I hope you guys enjoy. Hit the thumbs up and subscribe if you're new to the channel for more content, as well as that notification bell so you don't miss anything we upload here on the channel if you enjoyed the video. All right, so we have an official post from the Dragon Ball Super card game Fusion World official Twitter page. That's a mouthful, but you get the point. So we got some news about the game and product and all this stuff. So I'm not going to delve into what Fusion World specifically is. If you want to know more about that, I'll just have a video linked on the screen from my other channel where I covered it. But it's basically, I don't want to say like a dumbed down version, but a simpler version of the pre-existing card game that's been out for the last 6 years or so. And it's starting from set 1. So if you ever try to get into Masters, which is what the other version is called, and you just couldn't do it, it just felt like it was too much, this is for you, right? And the thing is, similar to Masters, there's also product issues. Now, I know most people are only going to care about the digital version, but you would obviously, I would recommend, if you can, if you have interest in doing so, supporting the physical version too, so that way we just keep getting more product in general. And there is a tie-in when you buy packs, when you buy decks, you buy product for the physical version of Fusion World. You will also get a digital code, or a code, excuse me, for the digital client. So you will get some in-game rewards for that as well. I'm not sure if that's a designated card. I assume it's just going to be crystals because the game does have a gacha in the digital version as well. So yeah, stay tuned for that. All right. So again, there is news about the release date. Stay tuned. We're going to talk about it. Thank you all for your excitement over the release of Dragon Ball card game, Fusion World, the physical version, excuse me. It's our greatest pleasure to bring you a new and exciting Dragon Ball Super card game experience. We've received multiple reports from stores that were unable to procure their requested quantity of booster packs and starter decks, including sufficient quantities of starter decks for pre-release event participants. We sincerely apologize to our players and stores regarding this matter. So, just so you know kind of what's going on, today, the starter decks came out. Next Friday, I believe, on the 23rd, I think that's next Friday. Anyway, on the 23rd, the booster packs will be coming out. And we'll have the announcement for this in a little bit, so we'll talk about that as well for the digital client. But whenever the decks came out, or whenever the game was launched, you know, they had plans to do a pre-release event where you go to a tournament, you buy, or you go to a shop, a local card game shop, and you buy the starter deck, and you use that same starter deck unmodified in a tournament among other players doing the same thing. And then there's promo cards, fun stuff like that, sleeves, winner card, things like that. So what kind of wound up happening, though, is that there wasn't enough decks to go around. Stores were ordering X number of decks just in general, and then they're also ordering a certain number for their pre-release events, because say you order 100 decks total, you need to save however many, you know, for the pre-release event, and then after that you can sell the rest, whatever you have left. You have to make sure you run this event first, right? And so stores weren't getting enough product to even run the event, like in general. They weren't getting what they're asking for. And so this has been a problem since the other card game came out in its entirety about 6 years ago. There's always been a shortage on product. And there were times where they printed more stuff, and it was still short. It was hard to find. It's getting scalped, all these other things, right? So it's unfortunate that this card game is... I actually went to like 6 different stores this morning because it came out today. Maybe they still hadn't stocked yet, but I couldn't find it. There is a game shop near me that will have decks. They do have decks, but they're saving them for Sunday where they're going to run the pre-release event. So I will be going there and participating in that. But still, I was hoping to get the starter decks. Maybe next week I'll have better luck with booster packs, but I don't think so. All right, we're pleased to announce that we are currently accepting distributor orders for Wave 2 of Fusion World booster packs set 1 and 2. So the second shipments. All right. Pack set 1 and 2 and starter decks 1 through 4 with an expected arrival date between April and May. Booster pack set 1 and 2. I'm not sure they announced the second one. Is that the second literal one that will come out later on? Or I assume that, you know, maybe there's something I'm missing with that. Bandai is making every possible effort to provide our distributors, stores, and players with sufficient product quantities in a timely manner. We ask the cooperation of all stores to submit product pre-orders to distributors before deadlines to ensure appropriate production, blah, blah, blah. This is just the beginning of Fusion World, and we are looking forward to bringing you much more very soon. Please also look forward to the release of the digital version scheduled for February 29th. So previously, they actually hadn't given us a hard date. I have been saying that it was coming out at the same time, like as the shop, like, or as the PAX. Thankfully, it's not too far off. But they hadn't actually, I realized they hadn't actually given us a hard date. I also was saying that I thought it was coming to mobile. I don't know if that's going to happen. I know it's going to come to PC, obviously. And the UI for the game screams mobile. It's laid out perfectly for phones. If you see the footage of the game, the way the hub looks, with where you start at, all the different menus, the settings, it's laid out for a phone, right? So I assume it's coming to mobile. It just makes the most sense. Why would you not hit that demographic, right? But there is no word on that. Digital is PC for now, and we'll see what happens. February 29th is pretty cool because, like I was going to say, they actually kind of said it was coming out in like spring or something like that. So it's cool to see it coming out sooner than expected. If you got to play the beta version, I pretty much what my general sentiment was with the beta a few weeks back, month back or whatever it is, was that it was done. Like it seemed fine to me. You know what it is also? I have personally played other games that companies haven't announced yet. I can't really say anything about it. And it's funny because they're like, oh, we need to iron this out. We need to do this and that. And I'm like, to me, I think you could drop a beta of this right now. Like, what are you talking about? You're going to wait another year to announce this. Like, why? Like, I don't understand that. So whatever a company, and that's happened multiple times, by the way. Not saying any game names, IPs, companies, nothing. I can't give you any of that. But yeah, it's just interesting. And these are this is mainly for games that are not out yet, still to this day, by the way. But or even announced. They don't even announce it, which is actually cool for quality control. But this game, I was like, dude, this is done. This like, yeah, I was playing the beta a few weeks. I was like, bro, this is ready to drop right now. So I'm very happy that it's coming out sooner than later. And like I said, supporting the physical game. So to make sure that this is very clear to everybody, there's a card game. I just want to make sure this is very clear because it's confusing. There's a card game that's been going on called Dragon Ball Super Card Game for 6 years. Last year, they announced that they're going to be creating Dragon Ball Super Card Game Masters and renaming the pre-existing one as Fusion World. No. They're going to be creating Fusion World, which is this one, and renaming the pre-existing one that had been running for the last 5 or 6 years as Masters. They're still printing products for both. So if you were to go to the store in an ideal world where they have the product anyway, you would see booster packs for Fusion World, which is the new one, which is going to be in the client, the PC client that we're talking about here that's releasing on the 29th. You'd see product for the pre-existing game too. You'd see both side by side, Fusion World and Masters in the store, right? And Masters, the pre-existing game, it's basically the same game. They're basically the same game, it's just different cards. So anyway, they also are not going to be bringing Masters, the pre-existing version of that card game, to the digital client. The original beta, if I recall correctly, the original beta, not the one a few weeks ago, but months ago, like 9 months ago or whatever it was, had Masters in it. If I recall correctly, a friend of mine actually checked it out. If you're watching, Wokey, let me know. But it had Masters as the card version in there. And I guess they, somewhere along that process in the last 9-10 months, were like, yo, this is just too much work translating all these cards, making sure people understand all these cards. And another big thing that a lot of players don't know about this is that the Dragon Ball card game had never been in Japan. With this rebrand, relaunch of Fusion World, with this same game, different cards type of thing that they're doing, this PC port that they're doing, they're actually releasing this product in Japan now, which is big. That's actually really big for the longevity of the game. Because when the original card game came out, they weren't sure how it would perform. They had tried to launch other Dragon Ball card games over the course of several years. You've seen those ones. Like, there have been so many different styles. But this one actually stuck, and it stuck in a meaningful way to the point where they spun off and made a bunch of different card games. One Piece, My Hero, they've got Digimon. They spun off and made a bunch of card games, bro. And there's another one that got announced too. Like this became a really big deal. And so, like I said, it wasn't in Japan this whole time. So this is why this is happening. If you're a card game Masters fan and you're not happy about this, I can understand. But when you realize that there's a lot of issues, and then also you couldn't really promote it in Japan as it currently was, they weren't going to say, here's a legendary collection featuring how many sets? Are there like 20 plus sets now of Masters. Here it is. Here's all the best, hard hitters just in Japanese for you to learn how to play the game with these thousands of cards. There you go. So it's unfortunate. Well, I wouldn't say thousands. Probably it's hundreds, but you get the point. I feel like it probably is over 1,000 unique cards with that many sets now. Anyway, how many is it? You get the point. So it's kind of how things are. But nonetheless, like I said, I will be covering Fusion World's digital version on the channel. So stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe, hit that thumbs up, post your comments down below, and I'll see you next time.